Warm greetings to everyone. This is Suhasini as Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering from RMDEC Engineering College. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the database management system, and the topic is constraint. So now we have different constraints as a part of this database concept, and we have different types of constraints as well. So the different types of constraints are primary key, foreign key or references, check constraint, unique constraint, not null, and default constraint. So we'll see one by one about these types of constraints. And before going to that, we have to know about some operations on constraints. We have three different operations as well. One is enable, disable, and drop. So starting from the primary key constraint, here you have to, whenever you create a table, you have to say which is the primary key of that particular table. So here the primary key is a unique field of the table. It does not allow any duplicate or null values. You cannot add any duplicates. Again, you cannot create the same set of data or insert, and you cannot leave it as null also. So that is the concept of primary key constraint. So you have to mention in a set of attributes. You have, when you create a table, you will be mentioning some attributes, right? There you have to mention which is the primary key there itself. Okay, so now can you see this example, like create table employee? So now the employee is your your employee is your table name, and the attributes are your e-number, e-name, salary, address, and department number. First thing, after mentioning your attributes, you have to mention all the data types for the attribute. That is your second thing. You have to name it. You have to name the attributes, and you have to name the data types of the attribute. Next, you have to mention which is a primary key among that set of attributes. So now I have mentioned the primary key as e number, which is a unique. And now if you run this, your query will be executed. Now a table is created with your columns. Now you have to insert the values, no? So for that we have a command called insert into employee. So insert into is a keyword, employee is a table name. Now values, so this is also syntax. Now what is your first attribute? E number, so some number. So next is e name, so it should be a character, so the character is there. So whenever you pass a character, you have to give it inside the quotes. Now next is your salary. So salary is some values I'm passing. Next is address. So address is again a varchar. So a character should be passed within a quote. And finally ending up with the department number, which is an integer. So I've given the integer. Now if I want to add, if you want to stop it, you can give semicolon here, and you can stop it with a insertion of one row. If you want to insert two rows or multiple rows, simply you give comma and follow the same structure, so that two rows will be created, right? So next is select star from, this is not customer, employee. When you give employee, then this table will be created. Okay, so now this table will be created and it will be displayed. Okay, whatever the table is created by you, it will be displayed. That is the select star from the table name. Now again, if you want to insert something, some insert into employee values 101 Kavi, here one error is there. What is that? Duplicate entries. Already there is 1001. Again, if you give 1001, as I said before, it will not accept any duplicates. So it is saying some error. Next example is insert into employee values. Here I have null. So as it will also not accept, because null values also it will not accept. So these things you should avoid when you go for the primary key constraint. Next is your unique key constraint. Unique key constraint is also same, that it should not have any duplicates. But one thing is, it will accept null. Okay, instead of giving some values, you can give, if you give null, it will accept. So same, you have to create a table name, e number. So which thing you want to make it as unique means that there you have to mention unique keyword, so that if you give null also, that can be accepted in that particular place alone. So now a table is created, and you are going to insert 1001 and comma Abita, 1002 comma Banu. So now select star from E unique. So the two row is being created and displayed. Now can see now insert unique row 1001. So duplicates will not be accepted. So error is being occurred. So now moving on to the insert into unique values, null values are there. So null values, I told you, no, here null values, but it accepts null values. So when I give null instead of your value, it will accept. So see here, select star from E unique 1001 Abita, 1002 Banu, which was the existing thing. Now I have null and the other name. Okay, this will be accepted, but your duplicates will not be accepted. So this is unique. Now next is default constraint. What is default constraint is, so when you are inserting something, and if you are not going to pass any values for some particular column, by default it should take some values and it should be printed. I mean, it should be printed in that place. So that is called default. If though you pass or you don't pass, some values to be present there. To make it that when you create itself, you will give some default value. Now see the first line for the default constraint, create table EMP. So the EMP is a table name. So num is your first column name, data type, name is the second column name, your character, I mean data type. Third is your bonus, your data type. Now for bonus, I'm giving some default constraint. So by default, if you're not going to give any value for bonus column, by default the 5000 value should be taken. Okay, so now we'll go insert some values. Insert into table values, number is 101, name is Dev, and bonus is 10,000. So the first row is created. Next is insert into EMP. Here see, I am passing only two values. When you are going to parse from a set of attributes, I have num, name, bonus. From this, I'm going to pass only two values for, I mean, two columns. Then you have to mention to which two columns you are going to pass. So where you have to mention that is next to your table name. You are providing the table name. No, in that place you have to mention which column you want to paste this two values. So num comma name, because it will if you are not going to mention, it can be mismatched also. So values of 1 or 2 Abhi. So I have not passed any values for bonus. But our default constraint is, if you are not going to pass any value for bonus also, it should take 5000. So see, I have given only two values, but the 5000 is printed here. So 1 or 2 Abhi and 5000 is here. Right, so this is the default constraint. So moving on to the check constraint. Check constraint is like, if you want to check any, while inserting something inside your table, you want to perform some condition checking. Okay, if it is true, you have to insert this value. If this condition is failed, don't insert that values. So in that cases, you can go for this check constraint. So create table constraint check, the customer number, insert all these things you are creating. For salary, you are providing check constraint. So for when you insert the salary value, it will check the condition. Whatever value you pass for the salary, the salary value will be should be greater than 5000. If it is less than, it will not get printed. That is, it will pass some error. Okay. So insert into customer check values 101 Karthik 45,000. So the 45,000 will go into condition checking. So 45,000 is greater than 5,000. So it is passed and it will print it here. So 1 or 2 Aruna 60,000, that is also greater than 5,000. So that is also been inserted. So now this is how you will be performing the check constraint, to which place you want the checking, condition checking to make there. For that particular column alone, you can perform the check constraint. So next is not null constraint. Not null constraint is, some particular rows cannot be a null. You have to pass some value. If you want it in that case, you have to mention how you mention this is a primary key. Similarly, to which column value you should not accept any null values. There you have to put null, not null. So create table, customer null is a table number, customer num integer, customer name varchar, one column name. Now customer salary should not be a null value. Some value, customer salary should be mentioned always. So if I say not null, every time here will be some value should be presented. So customer phone number int. So table is created. Now we start inserting some values to that particular table. insert into table name values 1 A, 1 is a customer number, customer name is A, customer salary is 40,000, phone number is some number. Now moving on to the next one, 2 is the customer number, B is the customer name, customer salary is 60,000, customer phone number is null. Now this null will be accepted because I am not given not null for customer phone number. So it will accept null value. So no error has been thrown. So the rows has been created. Now moving on to the next one, insert into customer null values 3 comma 3 is a customer number, C is customer name, null is customer salary and some number in customer phone. This will throw an error because customer salary I have given not null, but I have given here null. So it will not accept, no. So this becomes an error here. So this is how you are not null constraint will work. So next is foreign key constraint. So foreign key constraint is how do you link the two different tables? Okay, you have to mention what is the primary key in the first table and what is the foreign key in the next table. See here, I have created a table called first is a table name, row number which is a primary key, name is another attribute, mark is another attribute. So table is created. So now you create a child table with register number, contact number and okay, you have to say which is the foreign key referring to the first table. So foreign key of this table is register number. So I am mentioning foreign key of the existing table. References to which table it has to map. Reference is the keyword to the first table roll number. So first table roll number. So likewise you have to make it. So now inserting same process, inserting also insert into first values. How many rows you want to map it, you can map it. So and you want to view it and see, you can view it and see. So inserting records to the child table is also there. So now see here, inserting records in the child table will happen with the help of the foreign key access. No, so 105 I have given here, but it is not getting inserted. Why? Because in the previous first table there is no entry called 105. How it will get mapped? So it will not find that particular row itself. So this will not get affected. So now see 101 and 102. For that I am going to add contact name. Then it is passed because 101 and 102 is present in the first table. Yeah, so this is how they are inserting records in the child table is there. So deletion is also same. Okay, when you say delete from first where R number is equal to 101, this will not get deleted because this will also affect your next table also, but so it will not get deleted. So with this I'll stop. Thank you.